Our next lesson is solving ratio and proportion setup problems. So, either on the HiSet test, the GED test, or any number of other tests, you're probably going to see a setup problem that involves a proportion. So, to answer a setup problem, read the problem and then write a proportion. Write an expression that cross-multiplies and divides by the remaining term. Compare your expression to the options that are given. Okay? So, in the first example, Sandy bought 3 tickets to a baseball game for $19.50. At the same rate, what expression could you use to find out how much she would pay for 5 tickets? So, our thinking point, I will write a proportion and use X to represent the cost of 5 tickets. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay. Start with the ratio of tickets to dollars. The numerators should both represent the number of tickets, and the denominators should be dollar amounts. Step 1, write the proportion. Zoom in a little bit. So, our proportion in this case, we have tickets over dollars. We have 3 tickets for $19.50. But what if we needed to buy 5 tickets? Here, how much would we spend? Okay, we probably do this all the time. We go through the store, we see, I know I have X amount of dollars in my pocket, I wanted to buy 3 cans of this, but maybe I should add a couple more cans because we're going to have company for dinner. So you just want to make sure you have enough money, right? We do this all the time. Okay? This is how you'll solve it. So now what we'll do is we'll go to step 2. Cross-multiply, then divide by the remaining term. So when we say cross-multiply, we're going to multiply across the equals. So in this example, we have 5 across from the 19.5. Okay? That's the cross-multiply portion. Then we'll divide by the remaining term. So we've used the 19.5, we've used the 5. The remaining term is the 3 because the X is our unknown. So we'll divide by the remaining term, which is the 3. So as we see here, the solution, 19.5 times 5 divided by 3. Okay? That is the correct expression. The correct setup for this example could be written one of 2 ways. We could have 19.5 times 5 divided by 3. Or we might see it like this, 19.5 times 5 divided by 3. The 2 expressions define the same sequence of operations. Okay? If you've watched the order of operations information, you'll know which has to be completed first. This is the sequence of operations in order to solve correctly. And remember, operations would be addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, these 2 expressions define the same sequence of operations. They say the same thing, they're just written differently. Okay? If you need to pause to review, write the example over yourself. I want you to do that at any time. Okay? Now we're going to go to the next column. HiSet problem. If 6 pounds of fertilizer cover 1,000 square feet of lawn, which of the following expressions would show how many pounds would be needed to cover 2,500 square feet? Okay. So, our thinking point here. The answer choices are expressions, so I don't actually have to solve the problem. I should write a proportion and then find the answer choice that performs the operations in the correct order. So, we start with step 1. The problem compares pounds to square feet. So if we write a proportion using x for the unknown value, so we see pounds over square feet. Next to that we see 6 over 1,000 equal, because our proportions will be equal to each other, just different numbers. Now equal to is x over 2,500. So x is our unknown. And I want to say that it doesn't matter which you put on top and which you put on bottom, as long as like amounts are together. So as long as square feet is with square feet and pounds are with pounds, you can flip this upside down and put square feet on top. Your answer will be the same, okay? As long as you put like amounts together. Now, step 2. To solve, multiply 6 and 2,500. If you remember, 6 by 200, because we're going to multiply across the equals. Okay? And those are the only two numbers that we have. The other two across the equals, we have a 1,000 and we have an x, the unknown. So we don't have 2 that we can multiply. So we'll multiply the 2 that we know. So this is why we're multiplying the 2,500 by the 6. Okay? So, to solve, multiply 6 and 2,500, and then divide by the remaining number, which is our 1,000. Okay? Only option C shows this. Here's what they're showing us. 6 times 2,500 divided by, that's the line, 1,000. Okay. So I'm going to go back up here so we can take a look at the examples. The answers, I should say. So to begin with, we have 2,500 over 6 times 1,000. That's what A means. That's incorrect, right? B, we have 6 times 1,000 divided by 2,500. That's also incorrect. So remember, we're only looking for the setup. So C is 6 times 2,500 divided by 1,000. Since we already know that's the true, let's go on to D. 1,000 divided by 6 times 2,500. Lastly, E is 1,000 times 2,500 divided by 6. Okay. So, our thinking point, again, just to review, the answer choices are expressions, so we don't actually have to solve the problem. So, you can write the proportion and then find the answer choice that performs the operations in the correct order. And now I want to go down to this last test-wise piece. Look carefully at the answer choices. If you don't see one that matches your expression exactly, see if one option presents a different way of getting the same result. So, for instance, there were 2 correct expressions for the example above. If you came up with one but didn't see it in the list of choices, you would need to look for the other one in that list. And then what we're referring to here is this section here. 2 ways to write the exact same expression. If we were to solve it, we would get the exact same answer and either one would be correct. However, as a test answer, you might not see both of those. In fact, I would hope you would not see both of those, right? You would see one or the other. So just know they both say the same thing and they'll both give you the same answer. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Again, I want you to take the time, pause it, write the examples down, familiarize yourself with the process. And I know this is confusing. A lot of times I'll see, if someone has tickets in dollars, they'll tend to interchange on the opposite side of the proportion. So just remember, like in this example here, tickets, dollars. Tickets are all on top. In one scenario, I'm buying 3 tickets. In another, I'm buying 5 tickets. Okay? In the next scenario, I have $19.50. I need to find that final value. Okay? So tickets and dollars, you can flip either one on top. It doesn't matter. As long as your values are together on the same line, you'll get the correct answer. Okay? Cross multiply what you can, and then divide by your third number, and that answer will give you what your unknown number is. That will give you the answer to X. Okay? So again, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, please post them for me. If you're in my class, ask them in my class. I'm happy to answer anything that you have. If there's anything else you want me to do a video for, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. Okay? But again, I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.